I am a 26-year-old female, and I am friends with Rick, a 27-year-old male, for about 7 years. We were never romantically involved. We called each other brother and sister, and that's how I saw him. We never saw each other much in real life because we lived far apart. As time went on, we both met our current partners. From the start, Donna, a 26-year-old female, seemed to hate me. When we first met, she told me I look ugly, but also had a meltdown about me wanting to steal her guy. I tried to be understanding. Their relationship was new, and she probably felt insecure. After that, I kept my distance. For the next 3 years, we saw each other only a few times in group settings. During one of them, she joked that I was undesirable to men. I ignored it again, thinking she was just insecure. A few weeks ago, Rick invited me to visit them. I was excited and hoping that my friend and Donna would finally be on friendly terms. I arrived on Friday evening, and Rick immediately assumed we are going to a pub to get hammered. I asked for a chill evening at home instead, just the three of us catching up. I mentioned being excited to finally get to know Donna, but she asked me why would I want that, then asked me if I'm testing her. It just went downhill from there. The entire weekend, Donna barely spoke to me. She asked Rick does she want a coffee while I stood right there, ignoring my answer unless he repeated it. They never asked what I wanted to do, they just told me their plans and expected me to follow. Rick and I also seemed to have drifted apart. Our conversations were just awkward small talks. At one point, he literally said he doesn't have anything else to say to me. I also repeatedly asked for a place to put my things, but they never gave me one, so I ended up with my backpack in the hallway and stuff on the floor. The last straw came when Rick announced we're going to a pub with Donna and her friend because they had a rough week and he owes them since we stayed at home last night. He also mentioned the pub allows smoking inside. Again, informing, not asking. At that point, I decided I just want to go home. I absolutely hate places with smoke. I don't want to drink. Donna and her friend couldn't care less if I joined them, and Rick's only concern is making it up to Donna. So why would I go to a place I would hate with people who won't talk to me? I said my goodbyes and returned home, a 5-hour journey. The next day, they called to ask what happened. I calmly explained that I felt unwelcome and uncomfortable. I had even prepared a few written notes so I could be polite and clear. Donna got furious and started raising her voice saying, "Sorry that my family is dying, sorry that I hate myself," and much more. Rick told me I crossed the line and we ended the call. I later texted him saying that if they were going through something, I would have understood. They just had to say so. My boyfriend says I did a good thing, but Donna seems to have some issues which I triggered. I don't know if I'm even friends with Rick at this point. Am I the asshole? I wanted to add a small update for those who asked. I was quite confident I did the right thing, but then I started overthinking. Your kind comments mean a lot to me. I decided not to block Rick, but not contact him ever again unless he does the first step. Then I'll read what he has to say and we'll go from there. Maybe he won't text either, and then it's solved. To all who call this fake or artificial intelligence because I use weird words or weird names, names are obviously fake, and I randomly chose names of characters in television shows that had the right vibe for these people. Also, English is not my first language. Please just correct me and don't call me artificial intelligence. And to those who called it fake because they would remove themselves from the situation earlier or didn't go at all, I applaud you for your incredible ability to stand up for yourself. I've been the biggest doormat most of my life, and even though I can speak up sometimes nowadays, it's really new for me. That's probably part of the reason why I wrote this post in the first place. I'm not used to upsetting people this way. Later, Rick texted me, and it's not great. I don't think it's interesting enough for an update post, just a bunch of reasons why many things are my fault. He actually told me some of my points were valid, but mostly he's just upset that I triggered Donna. I'm too tired for this drama. I'm gonna log out now. Thanks again, guys, for everything. I got engaged last year. I wanted a courthouse wedding, but immediately Gary's mom told us repeatedly that we better not elope. So, although I didn't want to plan or pay for a wedding, I had to. Gary also wanted to do something until he saw the price of everything bridal, and then he agreed that a courthouse wedding is best. However, his mom is the type to nag and have a hissy fit if she doesn't get her way. So here I am, depressed, stressed, and broke, and I am getting married this week. To be clear, I love my partner, and I'm happy to finally be his wife. My depression and stress have nothing to do with actually getting married. Yesterday, while we were getting ready to go out, his mom rang 40 minutes after the time we've told her not to call unless it's an emergency. We established that as a healthy boundary, as she'd ring at all hours, for example, 9 o'clock in the evening or during our dinner time, just to chat. Gary answered in case it was an emergency, but it was about the hotel where we planned to go after our ceremony, telling us she'd been contacted about confirming the date we'd be there so that extra staff could be on. We never asked her to contact the hotel. She did it all on her own accord and left her number with them. We went in personally to organize that with the hotel staff, and they informed us that they'd put a note on the calendar for more staff to be rostered on. Gary told her this. She insisted on my partner calling the hotel after getting off the phone to her. Gary said he'd do it tomorrow, to which she started raising her voice, saying that he was making her look bad. Gary asked how, if they had no clue who she is, and that he'd do it tomorrow. She's used to people doing what she wants immediately, and if not, she yells and guilt trips. So she kept raising her voice, which in turn, my partner raised his. It escalated when she said that his dad and her give us money left, right, and center. She gives us small gifts here and there, which we have never asked her for. And to guilt trip us into inviting 2 of her friends to the wedding, she gave us $5,000 as a gift. Apart from that, they have not given us money. This is when Gary yelled, "Excuse me?" He started inhaling to yell even louder as she was yelling, so I took the phone and said, "We're busy, goodbye," and hung up. Context on my actions: I have been previously in toxic relationships, and I have fought hard to get out, start all over with almost no money, and buy a home on my own that's safe and calm for myself and my cats. My cats are my fur babies, and they all get really scared with yelling, as they're not used to it, especially the newest addition that was a stray and may have been abused while on the streets. I will do anything to protect my home's peace, my cat's peace, Gary's peace, and my peace, so yelling has no place in my life. His mom sent him a text and wrote that she didn't appreciate that I hung up on her. She found that very rude and disrespectful. Then she proceeded to write that she doesn't want to feel this way at the wedding and inserted a crying face. Am I the asshole? I've been living in my apartment for over a year, and I have a tall, tree-style bookshelf tucked neatly into a corner near the entrance. It's pressed up against 2 walls, doesn't stick out into a walkway, and has never been an issue with previous roommates. Since it's loaded with books, it will tilt unless it's pressed against 2 walls. This is a tiny 300 square foot apartment, and that corner has always been the safest spot for it. When new roommates moved in, one of them, Lizzie, decided my bookshelf is suddenly a safety hazard. She claims she often stumbles greatly in the wide entrance because of low blood sugar. She's diabetic. The shelf shakes when she stumbles into it, and it could fall on her. She wants a coat rack in the same corner. I tested it myself, and even when I'm really pushing on it and did a fake stumble, it reacts like any piece of furniture would when stumbled into. I explained that the bookshelf is safest where it is, but she's welcome to move it if she finds a safe spot. There aren't any corners left since she took them up with her furniture, so moving it elsewhere would be less safe. She started belittling me again, then asked to talk it out in person. Conversations with Lizzie are rarely discussions. She makes demands and expects compliance, often belittling me and dismissing boundaries in favor of her preferences. Due to this, I said I wasn't comfortable, because previous interactions had been one-sided and overly demanding. She argued about discussing shared responsibilities without being labeled difficult, and I stopped responding. The next day, another roommate, Carol, suggested using the corner for a coat rack in the group chat. I declined, again pointing out that the bookshelf is in the safest spot, and offered if they could find a safe corner elsewhere, they could move it. The spots they suggested were in open spaces, so I again reiterated the safety issue. They started belittling me and demanded a meeting. When I said I preferred messaging, they cited majority rules, to which I responded that majority rules don't override personal boundaries. Lizzie reported me to the apartment's general manager, claiming I'm refusing to move the bookshelf and questioning my ability to make sound decisions because of my mental health history. She claims I'm unstable and overly stressed due to my job, teaching, so I should be monitored. She even said she would have called my emergency contacts if she had access, despite me never having a panic attack or exhibiting unsafe behavior. The manager saw photos of the bookshelf and my messages and agreed it's tucked in a corner, not a safety hazard. And he even entered the apartment to look at it in person. Still, he wants to have a house meeting with him present. So, am I the asshole for keeping a perfectly safe bookshelf in a corner, despite my new roommates insisting it's a hazard and reporting me because of my mental health?
Long-time lurker, first-time contributor. So hello, and I'm sorry, but it's a long one. I, a 23-year-old male, have worked a series of seasonal jobs since my graduation from college in spring of 2024. I typically stick to the national parks. These jobs take me all over the country, show me things I'd never otherwise see, and introduce me to some of the most amazing people this world has to offer. I love the challenges posed by every job and location. This lifestyle makes me happy. My mother, a 62-year-old female, however, feels differently. She likes having me close and knowing I'm safe. I can't blame her. How could you blame a mom for worrying about her son? The issue is the way she acts every time I leave home. It's always a fight. She feels that I'm abandoning her, acting selfishly, and never fails to remind me that one day I won't be here anymore, and how regretful I'll be when that day comes. Every time I find another job away from home, it crushes her. She expects me to stay home, get a safe job with benefits, and begin saving for retirement. But I'm in my 20s. I don't want to do that. I don't know what I want for my life, and I'm not going to stagnate around my hometown while I try to figure it out. I have also tried to play her game before. Following a summer job working as a security guard, I got very interested in law enforcement. I joined my hometown sheriff's office and moved back home. I loved that job. I lived at home, got great benefits, and had a lot of fun. But that department was stuck in time and was going to end up on the wrong side of history. So I resigned and went back to what I was good at. I just had an interview for a job at Grand Canyon National Park and have been told to expect a job offer in the coming days. If offered, I intend to accept. I just got home from my last seasonal job, and I know it'll be an absolute fight if I tell her I've gotten another. I do my best to be home for holidays and birthdays, but if I get this job, I'll be spending my first Christmas away from home, and she'll be devastated. My father and her don't have the closest relationship, and my 3 older sisters, all of whom live in the area, really make no extra effort to be attentive to our mom. I love my mom, and I'm the biggest mama's boy you'll ever meet. But I don't want to spend my entire youth appeasing her. I'm racked with guilt every time I leave home, but know I'll be regretful when I'm older for not taking advantage of these opportunities. Life out there makes me happy. In summary, am I the asshole for leaving my family to continue being a transient? For context, I'm in my early 20s and live with my family of 5 other people, 2 of whom are children. We all share one bathroom. I always take my shower at the exact same time every morning, and I am usually in the bathroom for about 20 minutes at most. Before I take my shower, I let everyone who is awake know I am doing so and give them the opportunity to use the bathroom first. Now, my father, who is nearing 50 years old, has begun throwing a fit about this. He says, and I quote, "I have a morning routine too. I drink my coffee and I have to take a shit after. I do not know when I'm going to have to shit." He wants me to take my showers after I get home from work instead of in the mornings, because that is what he does. My mother thinks I should just wake up earlier so I can take a shower at 7 in the morning before he wakes up. I think that is ridiculous because I do not leave for work until 8:30, and that would mess with my entire sleeping schedule and morning routine. I would be sitting here with my thumb up my ass for at least an hour before I can even leave for work. And before anyone says, just move out, please just know I would if I could. I used to take a shower at 7:45, so I have already pushed my time back by 15 minutes. But then I am still in there until around 7:45 to 7:50. I am personally disregarding any message that complains that I am an adult living with family. Clearly, you are coming in here with bias.
I am one of 2 adult children living here, and I am the only one who actually works. I contribute to bills and I pay for my own things. It has absolutely nothing to do with this post. Not everyone is afforded the same privilege as you. For clarification, the 20 minutes is not just shower time. I use the bathroom, brush my teeth, shave, and shower in those 20 minutes. Secondly, no, I do not pay rent or utilities, which is $500 a month as far as I know. My dad pays that, and we both buy food for the house. Without going into detail, I contribute about $650 a month across everything I help with, give or take $100. This includes storage, food, animal care, and so on. And again, I am one of 2 adult children living here, and the only one contributing anything at all. Not that any of this has to do with my bathroom usage. My dad is his own boss. He can wake up and leave for work whenever he wants to, usually at 9 in the morning.